Research is fun, isn't it? Welcome to Real Bout Special for the Game Boy. A title that was only released in Japan. And you're thinking to yourself, but this is part of your King of Fighters playlist. This is Fatal Fury. This is Garou Densetsu. Where's the King of Fighters? Well, if I go to the sound test here and do a little button combination, and I change this little number on the soft dip I unlock, it's so much easier. So, Billy and Krauser are right here. You can play as them, or Iori Yagami in a Fatal Fury game. Nuts. So, Iori is a secret boss fight in this game. Through some code, you can unlock him. Alternatively, you could beat the game and unlock him then and there. We're not doing that. So this game, I'm going to try to be as aggressive as I can, because even on normal, the AI is in your face. Fatal Fury rules apply. There is an H power, an S power, and a P power. They all pertain to your meter. And one of them also depends on your life bar. There we go. There are technically 2 life bars. I hope you're up on your KOF 96, by the way. That's what this Iori is based on. Maiden Masher is down back, down forward. Not as you know it in KOF. Also, the P-powered moves tend to be a lot harder to input in Real Bout. Not the case here. They're all universal. They're all double quarter circle forwards and a punch and kick depending on your character. Also, in this game, you can sidestep. Pressing A and B together at the same time makes it happen. But yeah, as you can see, let my guard down for 1 second and half my bar's gone. Iori has all the moves you've come to expect him to have. He has the grab takedown, he has the maiden masher, he has the uppercut. The thing is, we're gonna move fast because this game moves fast. 60 seconds in-game can go by like that. It's time for my favorite phrase. It is worth noting, this game had Super Game Boy support, so things are gonna look a bit more colorful. At least in some cases. So, the roster omissions are weird, because we have Jin Chon right here. He is often connected to his twin brother, Jin Chon-shu. They were technically secret bosses in Fatal Fury 3. Because if you didn't do well, normally you'd fight Yamazaki, who was making his debut, and that was that. Chonrai is in this game, but not Chonshu. And I understand. Game Boy, limited palette. Can't have everything. But that's so weird. It's like, if you have one, you have to have the other. That would be like having a Capcom fighting game where you just have Yun and not Yang. Hint, hint. But in any case, Iori plays like Iori. This does kind of feel a bit piecemealed from KOF 96. just the overall feel of the game, given a Fatal Fury coat of paint with the systems and especially the roster selection. But this game, the control's alright. The feeling is definitely not there, but I press button and thing happens. This is definitely a fighting game that demonstrates the compromise of the Game Boy. And I initially missed this game. The fade into the colors is nice. I initially missed this game. I didn't even know Iori being in this game was a thing until I actually did some research. So this game might be a little late to the party, but it's definitely worth covering, just for the oddity. Because yeah, Fatal Fury having guest characters, not new. In fact, a Fatal Fury game having a guest character is what led to the birth of the King of Fighters. Because Ryo Sakazaki from Art of Fighting was a secret boss in Fatal Fury Special. So it feels poetic to cover this working the other way around. Now the game that crossed over, the game that was the first to see SNK characters cross over with one another, introduces a character from the crossover game. I mean it. The AI can go in on this game if you let it. See, with that, I had like 8 seconds left. The timer moves fast. It might as well be 60 real seconds. Also, we're just at Chonrei's stage again. So if it does seem like you're kind of seeing the same moves over and over, remember what I have to work with. Another thing worth noting is that this game technically came out late. Like, obviously, Real Bout Special 96, I think it was. And this Game Boy port came out in 1998 for the Super Game Boy. Well, with Super Game Boy compatibility. Long after both the original Game Boy and Super Game Boy were incredibly archaic. The Game Boy Color was just on the horizon. Blue Iori. Old Terry. There we go. He kind of has his unique normals. Yeah, it's that Game Boy feeling of, I don't quite notice the oomph. I'm trying to reversal out of this. There it is. Yep. The P-powered version of the Maiden Masher is just a level 3. Still worth the investment. And it's also 2 quarter circles and a punch. That works out for people like, say, Duck King and Geese Howard, characters that would normally have complicated motions. Yeah, it's like, I'm just trying to defend myself and I'm getting whacked. That's the mistake. Go. Sorry, Terry. I can't have this. Oh my god, he knocked me out of my maiden masher. But overall, this wasn't a bad conversion. It was just too late for both the time and the hardware. Those little counter stars that you're seeing, by the way, is the level of your counter hit. I'm not certain if there's any significance in, like, damage or anything like that. Yeah, this is what I mean. Just another demonstration that this game goes in. Like, you have to be hyper aggressive. Obviously, we're going to continue. Yep, it's just a simple pressing of the start button, and by the way, Geese is over here. It's just a simple pressing of the start button, and all of a sudden, you're playing as Iori. I found it interesting, of all the KOF characters, they picked Iori. Like, you'd figured Kyo Kusanagi would have been a shoo-in. Oh, God. It feels like finally I hit something. What screws you up about Iori is that little claw swipe I was doing, that's his kick. That is what kick button means to this game. Thank you. Little low on life there. Nice try, Terry. Oh, God. I get punished for that much. Must be damage related. Oh, you're not getting away with that. That's great. You're charging meter even when you're hitting. Means I was able to get another P-powered move real fast. Hi, Doc. We're just fighting on Terry's stage again. Duck King, I gotta come out and say it, I've never cared for Duck King. He's a unique character, for sure, definitely. He's one of the characters you think of when you think of classic Fatal Fury. But I've just never really liked him. So much so that this main match is gonna have some extra spice on it. He actually is in the King of Fighters 11. I know, I just played that recently, but we forget. We forget he snuck his way into a legit KOF game. One time. Yeah, it's just a feeling of whatever point they were trying to make with Dancing Fool that happens to be good at fighting was made better by someone like, oh, I don't know, DJ? Despite the fact this character predates DJ, DJ came along and did him better. Yeah, I think we have to fight everyone in the initial 8. Boy, doesn't this stage and theme sound familiar? Yes, Iori does have a kick attack. He actually has a sweep. He actually uses his feet in this game. I know I just established he has the claw swipe for his standing B, which is supposed to be kick. But yeah. As of the recording of this video, Kim has still not been announced for the upcoming The King of Fighters 15. And I hope he's in there in some capacity. It feels like he's only missed out on, like, one KOF. He's, like, a character that you consider so essential. He's the representative of the country of Korea. What was that? Okay, so, see those numbers on the bottom? Like, the ones like 70 and 58? This game kind of has a stun mechanic to it. If that number reaches 0, you drop an icon on the opponent. It's either their guard meter, or it's not their stun meter. There's no way. It has to be their guard meter. I've just been paying so little attention to it just because of the phenomenon of dropping an item on someone has only happened this one time. Okay. And he gets my stage. It makes the most sense. But do you have to take the theme too? Okay, okay. Forget I said anything. Oh my god, did I just combo that off of a jump in? Is this the world we're living in? That I comboed into Maiden Mash off of just a jump-in? I have no training mode for this game. I'm learning most of this on the fly. There we go. Andy, I'm trying to demonstrate stuff. I'm labbing in my head. I swear you can juggle the Rekka. Ow. Okay. There we go. Yeah, it should be Mary, and then after that, we're good to go. Oh my, that's Sunset. It's a pretty decent palette. Yeah, that's the combo of standing B. Okay. Oh my god, I get no invincibility. It's SNK way. Her up kick literally has an arrow behind it. Like a little spear-esque arrow behind it. There were definitely liberties with the graphics. It's not a bad interpretation of Blue Mary's Blues either. Like, the dev team working under Takara, they did a good job with their conversions, and it's very clear they worked with what they had. It's admirable. But when there are shortcomings that don't feel like then they're arcade classics, you gotta point them out. You just gotta know. Compromises, Game Boy, etc. Slow down. Nope. I was already set to block. Ooh, there we go. Feels weird having a real bout game without at least a power-heavy attack. Maybe it's something I'm missing. Here we go. Here come the mid-bosses. On Billy's stage, no less. Okay. Yeah, Iori still has the turnaround grab that I haven't been using too much, because I don't trust myself to grab against this AI. Oh, God. Got him. Nothing to say, Yamazaki. I was expecting a lot more from you. And that brings us to Billy Kane. Now this stage looks more like it should. The Union Jack in the back looking like the Union Jack with as proper a color as you can get. And this is where the game really starts putting up a fight, because you have somebody like Billy with very mashable specials and a lot of range behind him. And vengeance on his mind, because he hasn't forgotten KOF 95. Even just... I swear this game has wave dashing. Just with how fast the dash is. Oh, I was ready for that. I had to make a comeback from that. Not bad. Ah, lots of good damage there. I'll take the counter hit, because I'm going to get right back in. Ah, try to get him on the way down. Yeah, it's the thud. Okay. Man, like, Super Game Boy makes this stage look so natural. There are perks, there are good usage of color. Now it's Lawrence Blood. Yeah, you know how much of a pain Lawrence Blood was back in Fatal Fury 2. The difference is, we can use the stage! We don't have to worry about a horde of bulls in the back lane. Because this is technically Wolfgang Krauser's stage. God, it's the fact that I can cancel the Rekka and just go straight into an uppercut. Granted, I am playing as a secret boss, so he might have a few extra perks that make him extra tougher. But that's the way of things. We're talking about an SNK boss, after all. Weird saying the phrase Iori Yagami and SNK boss. To see these terms in relation to one another. Alright, doing typical DP in case you try to get in. This game's AI seems really hell-bent on kicking you when you're down. Like that, for instance. Notice the number went way down. Blood's little bloody cross Psycho Crusher takes so much of it. Good thing they have life bars blinking to indicate you're down to your last half of it. And that brings us to Wolfgang Krauser, with a very nice shade of purple. The usual Mozart jazz. You know Krauser by now. You know how many tries this guy took in Fatal Fury 2. You saw it. But you don't have your buttons anymore. Oh, you have blitz balls. You have grabs. You have what you need to succeed. You have Kaiser Wave, and you will spam it non-stop. Alright. But it's not gonna stop me. I've commented on how much I like Krauser. He's probably one of my favorite of all of the SNK bosses. Because this man just has decorum that you do not expect from a fighting game boss. He's got the classical music, he's got the intimidating, you fought well, you were good. Like, he respects you. The other SNK bosses just don't. Not to the level of Krauser. And speaking of respect, how about a little disrespect? Yay! Congratulations! We did the... Oh, extra battle. So if you do well enough at this game, they throw Geese Howard at you. See, normally the game would be over after Krauser. But here we are. You just can't stay away from Geese. And considering we played KOF EX1 Neo Blood like a long time ago, to see these two go at each other really is poetic justice with how badly Iori was shoehorned into that game. It wasn't even playable at the start. You had to unlock him in that game. And he doesn't even get a team because 99, you see. In any case, Geese is still rough. I'm not sure what's going to happen should the worst come to worst and I lose. I think it might actually be a one-shot, so I'm going to come at it like it is. Alright. See, Geese? I can stun you pretty good. That is guard meter. Man, that needs to be a feature in more fighting games. If you're guarding too hard and your guard meter gets broken, you get some cartoonish shit dropped on you and you're stunned and the opponent gets a free hit. More fighting games need to adapt this. See, I'm not even sweating Geese Howard anymore. The Game Boy can't do him justice. But that was real bout special. Feels odd having me not say the words Fatal Fury in relation to this game, because if you look back at the title screen of it, this is just real bout special. No Neto, Real Bout, Garou, Densetsu, none of that. Just Real Bout Special. Yeah, this was a game I did not know had a bit of King of Fighters collaboration in it until much later. So I had to schedule in this game somewhere. And while we're talking about guest appearances from KOF characters in other fighting games, why not another SNK game? It feels right. And I've already covered Game Boy games before. But as for the game itself is still fun. It's still a Game Boy fighting game. Expectations need to be lowered, but when they're lowered just right, it can be a bit of fun. It is a little caveman-esque when you're playing the arcade mode, because if you're not the one throwing all the momentum at the CPU will return the favor in kind, tenfold. But it's fun, and it's an interesting piece of the history of these games. Just the discography of SNK included this rare appearance from a King of Fighters character, ignoring the fact the majority of the people in this game would eventually become King of Fighters characters. But we have to move on to much bigger things eventually. And that eventually is coming sooner than later. You said I was done! So here's the real fight. Just kidding. If you do well enough at this game, they throw a Iori Yagami at you. And we're just gonna light a fire under this man's ass. Yeah, I can do that too. I can wake up DP, no problem. Oh, too late. Yeah, good interpretation of his KOF 96 theme, too. It's almost like they had this on hand. But I've been trying to do your ground ball for, like, forever. Feels like I get Dragon Punch more often. So the controls are a little finicky in that regard. Alright. Alright, Iori, let's make this as painless as possible. Ah! I stopped your Maiden Masher! Now you know how it feels! Oh, you can juggle them, kind of. Ah, he gets a moon dropped on him! It must be character specific. Actually kind of neat. That's actually something you kind of don't think about. But there you go. That is Real Bout Special for the Game Boy. I mean it. The end is real. There's nothing more after this. It's over. Go home. Leave. And yes, of course, here's guest. Use hint. Player select screen. That sure is a hint.